I think I'm at the point where nothing can really surprise me. I think that there's just so much constantly going wrong in the world that I'm just at the point where it's like, you know what? It might as well have happened. And I'm sure like I'm not the only one that feels this way, like a feeling of despair. You have like this impeding sense of doom, just completely horrifying, just and then every day it gets like a little bit worse and it just stacks on top of itself. Am I the only one who feels that way? You know, with like things like politically going crazy and then just stuff like all around the world, that shit's nuts all over the place as well. But you know, one thing I never really expected was CornHub. Sorry guys, that's I have to censor my words so the algo doesn't completely fry this video. Anyways, CornHub, if you haven't heard, is gonna ban Florida from just completely accessing their site. They're taking the corn away from the children. Maggie, go get the kids, we gotta hide. And so like, let's get into it, right? Because I feel like this is one of those things that the more that you learn about it, like your mind and your opinion surrounding it just completely changes. It has just like a progressional change the more you learn about it. So first and foremost, let's start with level 1. You hear me say this where CornHub is banning the use of their website in Florida, and you're like, all right, who cares? It's Florida. Fuck them, I guess. They're probably just gonna get hit by another hurricane or something like that. But then like, okay, so like let's actually talk about what the whole point of this is. So the way it's been dressed and disguised and like massaged is into basically saying that you like they're gonna start verifying to make sure that our minors can't access the website, and you hear that, right? And you want to keep kids that are underage away from corn, right? I mean, because it can have some long-lasting negative side effects. At least keep it away from them until they're like mature enough to eventually look for it on their own, because let's be real, that's what they're gonna do. But it shouldn't be like readily accessible. I mean, I feel like that's like definitely like a normal take to have. So in that aspect, if you just hear that the bare bones right there, like the minimal description of what's going on, then you're like, yeah, I mean, of course. Yo, keep that shit away from the kids. What are you talking about? And then you like call your partner and be like, honey, you hear this? The insert other political party is trying to let the kids watch the corn, because it would happen on both sides. That's what I'm trying to imply. Anyways, I mean, and again, I also think that should be the case. If you learn a little bit more about exactly why they're doing this, you'll come to find out that, I mean, I think it's a very, very valid reason. It's like a kind of protest. So on paper it sounds good, we're keeping it away from the kids, but basically what they want to do is they want to do like a ID verification, which if you haven't connected the dots by now, basically you would have to send information in to someone. You know, maybe it's the government, which by the way, not good for you. The government now knows every time you watch corn and do your business. But maybe somewhere along the way, someone breaches your identification, and you know, I don't even want to start thinking about all the negative possibilities, but just think about it in that aspect. Do you really want the government knowing every time you're doing your business? And I bring this up because a lot of people, no matter how I explain it, are just gonna make up some nonsense excuse for it. It's like, no, it's the kids, think about the kids. Without like, I mean, people don't like to listen, myself included, unfortunately, but there is like more of a reason to it. I mean, because I've heard people say like, oh, well, they don't want to do it because they're gonna lose business, because you know, these kids are going into their parents' wallets and, you know, just paying thousands and thousands of dollars on corn website subscriptions. You know, I did it. Yeah, you know, actually I was 25,000 big ones before I got caught. Yep. Let me tell you, when my parents found that out, they gave me quite the ass. That's not to say that there probably isn't like a kid or two, but it sounds so ridiculous to make like such a huge law for something like kind of insignificant over like a handful of people. Like, oh, this number of people must be 0. Yet they never fight this intensely hard to keep kids from just, you know, being deleted off of this planet from schools. The hypocrisy, man, the fucking hypocrisy, I tell you. The thing is, going back to the whole CornHub and, oh, they're losing money. It's extra funny that they say that because, and I think, I'm not sure if I'm butchering this, but I think it's pronounced ALO, the company that owns CornHub, as well as other of your favorites, such as Ucorn and the Braz, you know what I'm talking about, and then men.com, and then the Nut one, nudge nudge wink wink. It's funny because they are for age verification. They've always been on the side that wants for age verification to keep minors away from the content, but the way that they see it is they want to do it in a way where you're not really giving away like that person's privacy. As much as some people will deny it, like that is a very private and intimate thing people do. That's why people always go and they like hide in a closet where it's like nice and dark, and you can just be in that little corner like a little gremlin, just I don't know, just being fucking human, doing humanly things on this godforsaken planet. But you know, like when you do that, like you don't want people to know about that, you know what I mean? It's like, ooh, it's my little secret, I'm being bad, ooh. And it's like, why the fuck would I want Trump or even Biden to know exactly what kind of corn I'm watching? Like that, think about how crazy that is. It's like, oh, Pablo, let me pull you up. Oh yes, on so and so you watched. And that's all I'm gonna say, because anything more is just gonna be a self-report. So ha! But I mean, yeah, I mean, all it really is that they're concerned that there might be like potential like privacy issues, and I understand that. And if you think about it, like this just makes more sense, because no matter what they do and no matter what they say, you know that no matter how much they try to warn these people, when all of a sudden like the federal government has access to like exactly what corn people are watching, and that reaches the masses, people are gonna protest against CornHub, which, you know, really if you think about it, it's just a tactic at self-preservation, if you will. They're really playing the long game here. I mean, because they could just follow along and it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. So for them to stand on it, I respect it, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie about that, because now, like, think about it. Now none of these people are gonna have to give up their information to the government. On the one hand, they're like cornless, but on the other, like the government doesn't have access to like that kind of information, which no one should have access to that. I feel like we need to be on the same page about this. No one should have access to that kind of stuff. That's like your own personal private business. But you know, now the Floridians, they don't have to worry. No corn means no trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Although, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. There's such things as VPNs and torrenting, and you know, definitely don't look up what those words are. Definitely don't do your research, because definitely you can't find things online for free using that. Just don't do it. It's just not a good idea. But what do you guys think? I mean, like I said, I feel like this is one of those topics that the more you learn about it, your opinion is gonna change, unless like you're just being hateful or spiteful for whatever reason. But I feel like even the people that would be hateful and spiteful are probably, you know, sorry to say this, fellas, are probably the people that is gonna affect the most. Maybe it'll stick. Maybe this will be one of those good things that actually does something, even if it's like insignificantly small compared to the size of everything bad that's going on. But yeah, tell me, what do you think? Do you guys have any stories? Were you somehow affected by this? Are you too upset at the federal government and how they want to take corn away from you? Please reach our hotline at 1-800-I-LOVE-CORN. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like, sub. I mean, yeah, you might as well. It's right there, and then hit the bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload new videos. Hope y'all had fun. This has been Subtly Artistic. Peace out.